Hey peeps, welcome back to another part of Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. Yes, finally, we are doing it. And happy May Day and happy Beltane. I know, a little bit of a change of scenery right now, but we're still going to have a lot of fun today when it comes to fairy tales and what happens after Happily Ever After. So, of course, joining me is Tobias and Tantalus.
Hello.
And in the last episode, well, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, time flies. So in the last episode, we're planning out the big extravaganza that is a birthday and then a wedding. But also, a little bit of a note here, 2 notes in fact. Number 1, Karma has a very complicated relationship with Llama. And then secondly, it seems like, in a lot of ways, Karma's self-perception is very much affected by the fairy tale curse, specifically his Beauty and the Beast. Very much adversely affected his, self-image and self-esteem. So, I wonder, how do we heal that? Let's get into the drama. I just sound like a drama channel right now. No shade to drama channels. I kind of enjoy them, if anything. But yeah,
It's a drama llama.
Drama llama. Oh gosh. Yeah, so, I kind of figured out from the last part that, like, what Karma is playing, I know his name's Claude, but it's easier to say Karma, what he's playing is actually the, opening theme of the first game. So, yeah, me and Toby, we just talked about it early on, and we decided to let him finish the song at the end, because I don't know if Lucette knows the song, or if it's, like, a birthday song. So we're going to go ahead and let him finish, let him do his thing, because it's a bit different from usual routine with the fact that he's playing by himself. I think I would like to hear the song through to its denouement. I will wait. I situate myself by the door so I can give myself a better vantage point. Cloud continues to play for a long time, his fingers effortlessly gliding across the keys. I can tell by the way he stares at the keyboard that he's lost in the music and does not realize that I am there. It is only when his eyes begin to wander to the music sheet in front of him that he loses focus and notices me. At first, there is surprise in his face and then a gentle smile. Much to my relief, he does not stop playing. His eyes stray from me again as he continues to study the music sheet. Seeing him so involved in the music makes my heart lighter. Whatever melancholy I sensed from him before is gone when he plays. This time is important to him. I wouldn't want to end it abruptly.
You're so quiet, Lucette. Starstruck by my playing, are we?
Maybe, though I believe my skill with the piano was equal to yours.
Oh, is that so?
Claude chuckles as he pulls his hands away from the piano keys. And now I'm thinking of, was it from Annie, Go Get Your Gun, where there's that song, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better?
Yeah. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
I can.
No, you can't. Oh man, like that show just brings so much comedy. Oh, I love it.
Freaking Bernadette Peters.
Brad Peters.
What a quick.
Yes. The music stops abruptly and the room is awash in a serene silence. I consider moving to sit beside Claude, but then he has already scooted to the edge of the seat. He sets down his arm down on the piano and angles his head slightly, smiling mischievously.
I feel like a criminal caught in the middle of a crime.
And I'm really feeling the silence because I'm so used to this game having so much music, and then this time there's like none whatsoever. A criminal? Oh, so that's a really strong metaphor, Quad.
Playing without an audience always makes me feel that way. Especially when my audience pretends to be invisible.
Duly noted. I didn't want to disturb your practice. I look at him, curious. I haven't heard this song before. I wanted to see if I recognized it, but it was unfamiliar. Except to me. Well, maybe Lucette, but myself, very familiar. Anyway, I wonder if this is a song he learned back in Brugantia? What song were you playing?
I wonder.
And the piano was back. Excellent, because it felt naked for a second. Is it really necessary to keep it a secret? The song wasn't meant to be a surprise for tomorrow, was it? Oh gosh, why am I not surprised? I think that was a yes. Claude just looks at me with his lips curved into a cat-like smile. I'm going to assume that is a yes. I move to sit down on the edge of my bed. If you're in here playing, I am assuming that you are done for the day? Claude lets out a sigh as he leans dramatically back on the piano, one arm draped across its surface, the other one resting on his forehead.
I'm afraid the night still has yet more excitement for me.
He's a night owl like myself! Is it a meeting with Father? Or assignments from your history tutor? Claude scoffs at me.
I'll have you know I'm on top of all my assignments. I'm just as excellent a pupil as I am an instructor.
Excuse me. Your ego knows no bounds!
It's confidence, love. Confidence.
And it's hard to separate yeah, confidence and sparkles. Yet it's hard to separate the three of them from your definition of confidence anyway. Claude sighs as he stands up and stretches. Afterwards, he turns to look at me.
I'm afraid I have certain plans for tomorrow that I must check on.
Oh boy, I forgot. It's her birthday week. They make this elaborate thing every day, but is it gonna involve cakes and choirs? I wonder. Plans for the birthday party? You really don't need to work so hard for me, Claude. Much to my surprise, Claude's smile slips, his expression fading into something more somber.
Come on, this is his whole thing. Just let him do it.
Yeah, let him spoil you for a week.
Like this is his art. You can't stifle him.
Nope, you cannot.
I'll always work hard for you, Lucette.
I mean, like, flamboyance is literally like the first word in his Bible. Essentially, is just be as extravagant as possible. Aww.
I would do anything for you. That will never change, even if I cannot be.
Oh, Claude, stop talking yourself down. He stops suddenly, his lips sealed. And now you're gonna leave us at the cliffhanger. That's him. That's him, though. He loves his he loves his drama. He loves making it. You cannot be what? Claude looks at me, startled for a few moments. He steps back toward the door, then abruptly begins to laugh.
Never mind me. A tired man says a lot of peculiar things.
Although that I can kind of agree with, but even so. Any smiles?
But still, that was a terrible cop-out.
I know! Freaking cop-out, man. When he smiles, the look is once again melancholy. It is a sad smile. Claude? Are you okay?
Yes, Lucette. I'm just a little tired.
Physically, yes, but I don't think emotionally you are okay. It's so obvious. Yeah, me too, Lucette. Me too.
Clearly a little tired, but there's no just about it.
Intervention. Time for an intervention.
Don't look at me like that. I'll be fine come tomorrow morning.
I hope so. Quad. He stops in front of the door, hand on the knob.
I'm just noticing, along with the blinking, he's like, his eyes are fidgeting, like,
yeah,
he's averting his gaze.
Yeah.
Yes, darling?
Yeah, I'm sus. You remember that we promised there will be no secrets between us, right?
I'd never forget a promise that I made with you, Lucette.
This is gonna be your future wife! And you're gonna be the future, like, either way, Brugantia, or in this case, Angio, he was gonna be Crown Prince, soon to be King. So, yeah, you can't afford to be lying right now. He says the words with enough conviction that I cannot help but be relieved.
This is just a passing stress, I promise.
Really? I find that very hard to believe. Very hard to believe. But I nod my head, relenting.
Now, I regret to say it, but I'll be a little late tonight, so you don't need to wait up for me.
He blows me a kiss. Aww.
I love you, Lucette. Good night.
Good night, Claude. He steps through the door and closes it behind him. Once he's gone, I fall back down on my bed, my eyelids fluttering closed. My body welcomes the softness of the sheets and the comfort of my pillows. I wonder if there's some way to figure out why Claude looks so sad. Someone that could tell me how to help him when he's like this. The question whirls around in my head for a while, but it's not long before the desire to sleep overwhelms my worry. Not long after I close my eyes, I find myself drifting away into some slumber.
Maybe Lance?
Yeah! Maybe.
I feel like Lance would know how to deal with his brother when he gets in a mood.
But then again, like, keep in mind that, like, Claude was missing for, like, I don't know how long. So, in terms of the way the curse panned out, maybe completely clueless, but actually, maybe Chevalier might have a clue. I mean, granted, they had tiffs on and off, but they still might have a clue. He might still have a clue about it. I think Parfay's still alive here. And Delora. They might have an idea as well. Well, we'll see who it is. Let's see if we find out in the next few lines. When I next awaken, my bedroom is dark and quiet. The first thing I'm aware of is my heart, which is beating painfully against my chest. Another nightmare. I put my hand to my forehead as I glance around my room. I notice that Claude is lying beside me, undisturbed. Gentle rise and fall of his chest along with his soft breathing tells me he's asleep. I find the clock in my room and stifle a sigh. It's just past midnight. I have no idea how long Claude has been asleep and I do not want to wake him. Sometimes when the nightmares are terrible, I end up waking Claude to discuss them with him. Other times when I'm sure he needs to rest, I do my best to forget the nightmares on my own. I could use some fresh air. I quietly slide out of the bed and make my way toward the door. I glance over my shoulder at Claude one last time before quietly stepping outside and shutting the door behind me. The palace corridors are quiet at night, save for the muted footsteps of the patrolling knights. At first, I'm at a loss for what to do with myself. I could sit in the garden, or I could walk through the hallways until the voices fade. My legs begin to move on their own. Every step sends me down the hallway and closer to a branching corridor. I'm not entirely sure where I'm heading, but I tell all the knights I meet on my way that I'm only wandering for some peace of mind. I just moved into the conjoined corridor when I see a familiar face. Princess? Jurian stops in front of me, her eyebrows drawn together in a clearly anxious expression. Good evening, Jurian. Good evening, Your Highness. Couldn't sleep? It has been a restless night. Are you still working? For a little while longer, yes. And what about you? Just taking a midnight stroll? I've bumped into Jurian quite a few times in these aimless night strolls, and she always worries. I was. There is no cause for concern. You say that, Princess, but any royal's actions are concerned to us knights, and now I have to keep my eyes out for both you and the prince. The prince? Rod is also up? Oh, no. Prince Lance of Brugantia. He was out here earlier murmuring to himself. You might be right, Toby. That is a little strange. I saw him head into the dining hall last. I sent a few nights over that way just in case. Perhaps he just left his room for a midnight snack? Claude used to be up at midnight all the time when he first came here. It sounds like the typical Brugantian lifestyle. Anyway, if you need anything from me, I'll be on patrol for a little while longer. Don't hesitate to call on me, Princess. I will not. Thank you, Jurian. Jurian turns to walk away, but then pauses to glance over her shoulder. Oh, and Princess? I hope we all get to practice together again soon. Yes, I hope so too. It has been a long time since all four of us have been able to participate in mock battles. Jurian flashes me a small smile before she strides away from me to continue her patrol. And I forgot, Garland's still alive in this ending. I forgot. If Lance is up right now, perhaps I should go see him. Without another thought, I begin to make my way to the dining hall. Sure enough, the first thing I notice when I step into the dining hall is Lance, who is sitting at the head of the dining table, his hands clasped as if in prayer. He's murmuring something beneath his breath. Lance? Lance glances up at me bewildered. His shock almost makes me feel guilty. Did I interrupt something?
No, not at all.
He lets out a deep sigh, his shoulders sagging slightly. A weight seems to fall off of them as he does so, and when he wakes up, he once again exudes his usual cheer.
I was wandering around the palace when I noticed the dining hall was empty. I wanted to sit down for a few moments to practice a speech, but...
Oh? He looks down at the table. The downcast expression takes me by surprise. It is very uncharacteristic of the usually very charismatic Lance.
Sometimes I get so caught up in memorizing that I forget about everything around me. I'm sorry.
Oh. There's no need to apologize, but you were practicing a speech? For whom? Oh, wait. He's the new crown prince of Brugantia, so no doubt. It's fine. You do not need to speak about it if you don't want to. I'm about to head out again when Lance calls my name, making me stop.
Have you ever given a direct speech to the people, Princess?
Before I used to shun people. I dislike going anywhere near them. Since breaking my curse, however, I have learned to open up to the townsfolk. The king has me address them directly on our monthly rides out to town. Of course.
I see.
If you're asking me that question, I am assuming that it is because you are practicing a speech for a big audience? Lance smiles, a little half-heartedly.
I was.
Yeah, in a way, like, what he's going through is very similar to, don't know why I keep on bringing up the House of Windsor with this, but, what George VI went through when King Edward abdicated. Because, like, he went from being able to live a normal life to all of a sudden, oh, you're next in line for the throne. Though, in this case, this is a better circumstance, considering that technically Claude is still keeping to his duty as crown prince, but just in a different region. But now Lance has to take it up in Brugantia, so there's that.
The moment Claude became engaged to you, I became next in line for the Brugantian throne. Father has been waiting for me to give a speech officially announcing myself as Brugantia's crown prince.
The moment Claude asked for my hand in marriage, he had to relinquish his position as the crown prince of Brugantia. It never occurred to me that Lance would have to take over something that he was unprepared for. And that was the other thing, like, the education for, like, people who are crown prince versus those who are, like, second, maybe third to fifth in line when they have, like, families and stuff, it's dramatically different. It's really different. And I didn't realize it until, like, I started reading further. I was just like, whoa! Like, they really don't prepare you for that. They really don't. And
yeah, I'm like, they're not expecting you to have to deal with as many politics, so...
And even so, though, the fact that, like... Well, again, pulling from the House of Windsor. The fact that, like, even though you're not on the throne, you still have a duty to perform when it comes to being an ambassador to your kingdom, to other people. So that makes it even more important as to why you need to get that. You need to get that training. You need to get that education. And I'm kind of surprised that even though it's like you're trained to think like several generations or centuries down the line, they never think about that one impossibility that maybe that firstborn may not be next in line. Because it's happened several times at this point in our generation. Like, Japan's, well, at least like a few generations back, just one generation back, this literally happened. Like, I mean, Japan's emperor abdicated, like, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like the second in line should learn the same things. It's kind of like an understudy in a play, you know? Exactly.
If it treated us like a play, like I think things would go a lot better, if anything. And then that in turn, for those who are ambassadors to the family, they would in turn figure out how to present themselves the best way they can, and in their own very special way. But also, I think ultimately it's just the firm, like whatever firms that happen to manage these families, they need to stop acting like they're corporations. I think that's the one thing I absolutely need to fix that. That's just me, though. It's nice to be downstairs in the overall sphere of the world, you know? For a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about this stuff.
I mean, people always talk about, like, you know, wanting to rule the world, but I'm like, what? No. Like, in charge of the entire planet? Are you
kidding me? needed to cancel for that
Granted,
stuff.
I am not keen on any leadership role whatsoever, but yeah.
Yeah, like even for me, it's like basic facilitation for me at best. Like at best. But then again, even with that, like I like the short-term stuff. Like if I'm doing a presentation or if I'm leading a group exercise. Other than that, yeah, passing on to somebody else. Thank you very much. But if I had to do it, I could do it. Yeah, I could do it. It's just, I mean, this channel in a way is kind of, well, granted it is owned by somebody else, but it is my domain for the most part. I should probably start a group called Over.
Back to the story.
Back to the story. And how is the speech going? Lance sighs, which of course is not going to be easy for him. Oh.
Terribly. I die a slow death in front of large crowds. Claude has always been better at speeches than I have. I prefer speaking to people one-on-one.
I don't blame him.
And maybe pick one person in the crowd and pretend to speak to them.
That works.
Large crowds are terrifying.
And I think it's the quote of the last... That's basically the quote of the last 2 years, essentially.
Large crowds are terrifying.
Large crowds are terrifying. Lance 2021. He has stage fright? No doubt you both have your own strengths. Talking to so many people at once requires practice. And yeah, it's a training thing. It's actually a training thing. Like, there's actually like training for this. Like, like not just for royals, but like there's things like Toastmasters, where like you practice like doing speeches in front of crowds.
Right.
Aw. Lance still looks disheartened. The look on his face is so similar to Claude's that I cannot help the small stab in my heart. And oh man, this is hard. Because like on the one hand, like Lucette would have like the knowledge of how to do this because she is a crown princess, so she has some familiarity of like being people, and also I think he also in a way would have the idea of the anxiety that Lance is going through, considering her upbringing. And yet, this could also be a time that maybe this could be some connection time for Claude as well.
Yeah, it's like Claude's going through a lot. He's very down on himself. So maybe, like, allowing him to do that will remind him what he's good at and, like, bring him up in that way.
Yeah, like brothers working together. Yeah. Maybe we could remember.
So there's also the chance that they'll just bicker at each other.
That too.
The whole time.
That too. I forgot this is Claude we're talking about. And then on the other hand, if we offered to help Lance ourselves, like, would he get jealous again?
Yeah, he might a little bit. That did seem to happen a little time just when he helped us up. So
yeah, we're basically between a rock and a hard place right now. Either way, it might set him off, albeit for different reasons.
I'm more inclined to have Claude help him.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest that because at least like it's one more bonding moment before their crowns separate them, possibly for good. So, all the more reason. So let's give that a shot. I mean, he needs the company too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You said Claude is better at spotlights, right? Then he should be able to help you. The two of you are brothers. He knows you better than anyone else. Even though Claude gets jealous of Glance frequently, the two of them are still brothers. I know Claude still loves him. And Claude's overwhelming confidence allows him to speak to crowds with ease. Most people find him very charismatic. Incredible choice of words, Lucette. Well done. I know what she wanted to put in there. It's so obvious.
Hasn't Claude been really busy recently? I wouldn't want to take away from any of the free time he has with you.
Lance. Lance has a forlorn look in his eyes. He stares past me at the door, his eyebrows furrowed. Uh-oh. Is he there? Llama? He flushes the crimson red that has me smiling despite myself. He and Claude are similar in the strangest ways. Say that again. You may as well ask Claude. I wouldn't mind sitting in during your practices if time with me was ever a problem. Besides, I already get ample time with Claude despite what he might say. Most of the time, he's just needlessly dramatic.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Though I do have to agree that we have both been pressed for time this week. Hopefully things will settle down after tomorrow's celebration.
I will try asking him then. Though...
Say it more decisively. You will ask him. Lance laughs a little sheepishly, then he clears his throat and speaks in a voice filled with conviction.
I promise that I will ask him.
Yes. Say that with confidence, Lance. There you go. Good. Good. Round of applause.
Oh.
Lance looks at me, wide-eyed. What is it?
It's past midnight, isn't it? I'd almost forgotten.
Forgotten?
To wish you a happy birthday.
Oh! The smile Lance gives me is so shiny it almost sparkles.
Sparkle!
Sparkles! Shing! Sparkle, sparkle.
A very blessed happy birthday to you, Lucette. May both your nights and your days be filled with endless cheer and good company.
Also, happy May 1st to all my friends out there. Again, happy May Day. Happy. Thank you, Lance. If Claude knew Lance was the first to wish me happy birthday, he would cry.
I was just thinking that. I'm like...
Oh, God. The thought makes me smirk. Lucette, you devious fiend. My conversation with Lance is cut short after that, when at one point, instead of responding with him with words, I respond with an unintended yawn. I excused myself first that night, relieved that my conversation with Lance has helped clear the nightmares from my mind. Oh yeah! Because birthdays are good. I mean, unless somebody has an adverse experience with birthdays, in that case, I am sorry. But for the most part, birthdays are amazing. I am sure that Lance will be able to solve his problems with help. As for my problems, I push the thought of Claude's melancholy smile from my mind. For now, it's better not to think about it. Claude will want me to enjoy my birthday celebration without worrying about him. For now, I will set aside these worries. I walked back to my room feeling a lot lighter than when I first left it. Chapter 3. Lilies and Roses. Forget bread and roses, there's lilies and roses. The hallway is lively in the late morning, but I barely pay attention to the servants as I make my way through it. A few of the servants notice my hurried pace and stare after me, no doubt curious as to why I'm rushing down the halls. I ignore them. What reason could Parfait have for summoning me so late? Okay, yeah, Parfait is alive in this ending. I keep forgetting who's alive and who's gone in each ending. But I think, like, hands down, I think Waltz. Waltz definitely had the most, I think. I was woken this morning by a knock heralding a letter delivery. It was marked as urgent and had been sent by Parfait earlier today. Parfait prefaced it with an apology, then explained that she and Delora had something they needed to discuss with me. Apparently, I cannot wait. Everyone planned for a late breakfast today so I could sleep in, too. Oh, yeah, I hate that when things, like, just pop up last minute. Like, it's just like, I have plans to stay in and sleep in and all that kind of stuff. Be lazy, but no. Duty has to call on the most inconvenient time.
Birthday.
It's my birthday!
I don't want to do anything on my birthday.
No. Like, I've had to work a couple of times on my birthday, but I try to get off on at least my birthday hour. Cloud was already gone when I woke. I was expecting as much considering today is my birthday and he is the one heading the plans for it. I have already told my family that I'll be missing breakfast on account of Parfait's letter, but I have yet to see Claude. I turned the corner in a rush, and only barely managed to stop myself from colliding with someone cutting down the other side of the hall. Oh! Speak of the devil.
Lucette.
I step back from Claude as he stares at me, looking flustered as if he too had been running.
I heard you were leaving the palace for some personal business.
Parfait sent me an abrupt letter this morning saying that she had something to discuss with me. Claude looks clearly disgruntled by this news.
On your birthday?
Well, I mean, considering she became a tenant bar bearer on her birthday, it kind of makes sense.
Oh.
Oh? That's all you could say is oh? Does anybody even remember that reference? I wonder. He suddenly falls to his knees and clasps my hand in his. I'm startled when he presses his lips to the back of it and smiles.
A very happy birthday to you, my beautiful Lucette. My love, my sunshine, my beautiful betrothed.
Betrothed, intended, affianced. What's the difference? Oh, God. The greeting is so familiar, I cannot help but blush. Claude cocks an eyebrow at me as he stands. He leans forward and plants a quick kiss on my lips.
Alright, now that I've done what was necessary.
Even a simple happy birthday has to be done with extravagance. Wow. He looks at me, again disgruntled.
They're really doing this on your birthday.
Right, so Duty, especially with the Tenebar and Crystal never sleeps. Apparently so. I just realized I'm wearing crystals on my head now. Like, did I didn't plan this, I swear. I swear I did not plan this. I just wanted to wear it today because it's May Day. Claude grunts in response before shrugging his shoulders.
That is the case.
Oh? Takes a step toward me.
Would you allow me to accompany you?
Yeah! Absolutely!
I had something special planned for breakfast, but if you cannot be there, I'd at least rather be by your side.
You are my betrothed, and of course you also are really good at sword fighting, so it is a given that you have to come with me.
I can leave early to make sure that things are taken care of.
Was he rushing to catch up to me for that reason? But if he tags along, won't he be even more pressed for time? I forgot! Oh my god! Because there's also llama to think about, and then the birthday stuff. Oh my god.
I mean, he's all rather pressed for time, but I feel like he can manage that. And like after today, then he can take a step back and cool things.
Yeah,
like I think he would personally prefer that to being left alone.
Which makes sense. Yeah, I agree. I think he can handle it. I mean, if he can handle like the intricacies of Brugantian, finery, I guess, then he could certainly handle a brief meeting with Parfait. Also, my laptop is dying, so I'll be right back.
I could just like say whatever I want here. No one would be the wiser.
Yep. I may be a mess, but at least I'm not a hot mess like I was earlier in the week. Oh, yeah, the temperature dropped. Alright, so we said we were going to allow him to tag along, right?
Yeah, I think we should let him.
Yeah, let's let him come over. Come on. Just what's one more person? He is the one who then insists on tagging along, and I always appreciate Claude's company.
Perfect. I'll meet you at the palace gates in a few minutes. Then. I just need to tell everyone that I plan on being out for a short time.
Ooh. He ducks and plants a kiss on my cheek before rushing off, leading me to once again walk down the corridors on Leia. I do not have to wait long before Claude to appear at the gates.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Lucette.
He is pretty efficient, that's for sure. He glances around the clearing.
No carriage?
I asked, but they have yet to prepare one.
Perhaps we should just walk to the Marchen.
That was the next thing I was going to suggest. I stifle a sigh.
Relax, darling. Parfait and Delora have already waited this long.
Plus, I mean, they're basically, like, the people of the hour. Like the party doesn't start until they arrive.
I'm sure they can afford you some time to breathe in some fresh air.
Indeed. He holds out his arm to me with a flourish, a smile on his face.
Shall we?
We shall. I loop my arm through his with a resigned smile. I just said that, so do I need to say it again? The town is lively today, but still not crowded as it is in the afternoon. I really do feel bad that everyone went out of the way to eat breakfast so late on my account. I told them it was for some important meeting with Parfait, but still. What could be so urgent that she had to call me out here now? The walk through town is mostly uneventful. I am relieved that no one goes out of the way to speak a birthday greeting to me. Yeah, I know some people kind of hate that. Which I kind of find interesting. When Emily mentioned...
Unless this is all a huge elaborate plan.
Oh!
Everyone's actually at the mark.
That's true. That's true. What if it's some elaborate plan that Parfait and Delora came up with? That's true. When Emily mentioned Claude wanting the townsfolk to celebrate with me, I was half worried that they would rush me when I came out of the palace. The town is as it always is, which is a great relief. I greet people respectfully when they call out to me, but otherwise keep to myself. We're close to the march-in when I stop, hearing a conversation that piques my curiosity. I do wonder whatever happened to her. She was just here one day and then gone the next. Beautiful, mysterious woman tended to do that, I suppose. She was mysterious, wasn't she? It's been years since she was seen. Maybe she was just a fairy passing by. Or perhaps a witch? Her beauty was mesmerizing enough that she seemed more than just a human. She had a rather mysterious name too, didn't she? Miss Karma? Oh! Yeah, if I happen to edit this after this is over, I'll put a picture maybe of Karma up, cause I'm impressed they even remember. I'm impressed they even remember. Miss Karma. I cannot believe people are still talking about his disguise from 2 years ago. I cannot help but glimpse a Claude who was grinning at me mischievously. Which, of course, he was having a lot of fun with this.
Perhaps one day this enigmatic Miss Karma will appear in town again.
I can totally imagine it now. Whenever he gets tired of palace life, which I don't know how often that would be, just puts on a dress, drinks one of,
You know he's serious, because
he's totally serious. I knew it would not be the last we would see of her. Gets on her cherry-back yellow dress, drinks one of, Anis's potions, and boom. Miss Karma is back.
She a fairy or witch? None may ever know. It is indisputable, however, that she is the second most beautiful lady in the realm.
Second most beautiful? It is not like you to be so humble. Claude looks at me pointedly.
Well, she certainly isn't as lovely as another fairy that I know.
He dodged a bullet there.
I mean, have you seen Emily?
We just might have hit it. Oh my gosh. Claude's only response is a wink and continue to walk. My eyes now on the margin. I wonder how the townsfolk would feel if they realized that Miss Karma somehow became the crown prince of Anchiel. That's the thing, Lucette. With something as beautiful as that, the world will never know.
Well, it's like an Avatar when Zuko is like in hiding, running the tea shop with his uncle, and then suddenly he's the Fire Lord. So.
Yeah, I just think of this TikTok, a very famous TikTok. It's like, nobody's gonna know. No one will know. Who's gonna know? They'll know. Like, nobody will know. And I agree with Lucette. Cheated feels like we'd be putting it mildly. When I finally arrive at the marching door, I stop, relishing the nostalgia that comes over me. I do most of my magic practices at the palace and forest now, which means I barely have reason to come to the march-in. 2 years ago, this place is lively, always crowded with patrons who were seeking to break their curses. Ever since I became the Tenebrarum bearer and dispelled those curses of my own, the place has become significantly less busy. Now it's just a normal tavern, though I hear many of the previously cursed still come here. I put my hand at the door and pause. It feels as if the march-in is holding its breath. I should make it this quick. It's almost noon and I cannot miss lunch as well. I turn the doorknob and step inside. I'm expecting quiet and serenity, but the moment I stepped foot through the front door, there was a loud outburst of sound from every direction of the room. And of course, it's a surprise party. I'm not surprised. But couldn't have waited until after breakfast? Come on. Happy birthday, Princess Lucette!
Happy birthday, Princess Lucette!
Aww. The words are only the primary greeting. After them comes a shower of petals that fall from the ceiling. I realize as they fall to my feet that they are white. Lily? Petals? I stare at the sight before me with wide eyes. The march-in is mostly unchanged, except for a few flourishes here and there. Lilies line some of the shelves, and I can see through the doorway that the tables in the tavern area are decorated. Finally, I notice the group of people gathered by the door. I live for moments like this, where I could see our ever-so-stoic princess stunned into silence. One would hope she would find a surprise party surprising. I came here for urgent business. The words leave my mouth before I could even think them. My cheeks warm and my head is spinning. I cross my arms, my face still flushed with embarrassment. Also, I love Parfai's outfit here. It looks amazing, and she looks a lot better compared to the first game. A whole lot better.
I haven't seen her in the first game, but she does look adorable. I cannot argue with that.
Yeah, like she's like, yeah, like she was like on her last legs and most for most of the endings in the first game, but like here she looks so much better. I turn to glance behind me and see Claude looking at me. He is smiling at me smugly as if in triumph. You knew this all along!
But of course, it did help plan it after all.
Of course he had to come with! Come on! This is like, I'm glad we picked this.
So, can you imagine if you made him stay back at the palace?
We would be soaking the entire freaking time. Somebody said the palace was a well-crafted lie?
You forget that I'm very good at keeping secrets.
Too good. I step into the room, the surprise finally sinking in. I look around and see familiar faces I haven't seen in a while. Even more surprising, my family and Lance are among them. I saw them all before I left the palace. How did they get here? Oh yeah, she doesn't know this.
All the carriages.
Yeah, that might be the carriages might be the one thing. The other thing is that there's actually funny you mentioned me an Atla reference. Secret tunnel to the march-in. So they totally could have used that to get in. But yeah, totally would be the carriages too. When I ask for the explanations, I am told the royal family was transported to the margin by Waltz, who used a transportation spell. Or that.
Or that.
I found my explanation a lot more fun, but hey, transportation spell, that works too. Everyone else had been gathered in the margin before that, making arrangements and setting up the impressive array of food I could see in the tavern area. Although the venue is smaller, it is more comfortable. This is so much nicer than a grand party at the palace. No formalities are required. I much prefer the nostalgia of the marching to the stiff royals. And if even she's saying that. I am led, as the guest of honor, into the tavern area. There is, sure enough, a banquet set out on all the tables. Some of my favorite foods are on the menu, and it is impossible to miss the drinking fountain. Is that... a drinking fountain filled with a special birthday juice, princess? There are fancy goblets laid out just beside the fountain, already filled with the concoction. The goblets on their own are not telling, but... I recognize the chameleon topper. So this is the juice that Emily was tasting in the dining hall. Emily moves to stand in front of the drinking fountain, a bright smile on her face. I notice Lance standing with her. More likely than not, he has been assisting her with this since he arrived. Emmeline gestures to the goblets in the drinking fountain behind them. I present to you Lucette's special drink, the Lily. There is a round of applause followed by some murmuring. I notice upon further inspection that the chameleon topper on the drink now has a small lily placed in its head.
Aw, that's adorable.
Oh, it's adorable. But is there a reason there's a chameleon on it? I'm going to assume that represents a certain spoiled princeling.
How rude.
Well, I still think it's precious.
Because chameleons are precious.
Indeed they are. There is never a dull moment in this place, is there? Everyone scatters in different directions at that point. Some make their way immediately to the food tables, while others begin to engage in conversation. It is a small get-together, but the people here are all comfortable enough with each other that it's easy for them to converse. Somehow, even despite the fact that the royal family should look out of place, they do not. Maybe it is the fact that they already met everyone at the tavern before at the palace. Well, also there's the fact that Ophelia was a commoner before she became a royal, so there is that too. So the divide is not as dramatic as compared to, let's say, Hildur. He was a witch, so there's that. Even Lance seems at ease. I am just about to make my way over to the large food display when a familiar voice stops me in my tracks. Of course.
It's been too long, princess. I must see your radiant scowl.
Every time I think he's changed, this happens. Chevalier laughs and I frown at him.
And there it is. I'd much rather see you smile, though. It is your birthday, after all.
2 years ago, when I lifted Chevalier's curse, he remembered that he was a doctor. He became more serious after that and went back to his work with a commitment that surprised everyone. I hear that because his clinic is close, he visits the market often. How have you been?
Well, princess, I have you to thank for your recommendation a month ago.
My recommendation?
You recommended my clinic to a renowned nobleman, Lord Dissimond? Was it? One recommendation led to another, and now I have an influx of patients.
Oh boy. I found out long ago that Chevalier frequently refused gold from people out of his own selflessness. Because I could not convince him to take the gold, I recommended ennoble him into his clique instead. Now he has no reason to refuse payment. It is my pleasure, but please make sure to keep some of the gold for yourself.
I hope you won't put Lucette's efforts to waste with your selflessness again.
Yeah, like he's like with Chevalier, he's like, even though he is like a little bit of a charmer, he's also selfless to a fault. Quad suddenly stands beside me with a scowl on his face.
A pleasure to see you too, Your Highness.
Yeah, I also told you earlier that they also have a history a little bit. Not in the brightest of terms. Both men frown at each other. For some reason, they are still curt with each other. But do they really need to act like children? Honestly, children, Lucette, they're much better behaved than these two.
Oh, Lucette.
Lance suddenly appears at Chevalier's other side with a bright smile. Oh yeah!
I came to ask.
The speech!
I came to ask. Oh.
He looks at Chevalier, who is staring between him and Claude with wide eyes. He's never seen them before!
There's two of you.
Lance laughs.
I'd be Claude's brother, yes. I'm Prince Lance of Brugantia. It's an honor to meet you.
And I'm gonna guess that Chevalier is gonna like Lance better than Claude, but in this case it makes more sense.
An honor? He is a renowned and doctor, Chevalier Dumont, yes? Your reputation precedes you.
Chevalier eyes Lance skeptically.
You know me. And more importantly, you're being nice to me?
Someone's been playing Among Us for too long. His eyes flicker between Claude and Lance. Lance looks at him perplexed. He looks a little at a loss. Oh, poor Claude. He has no idea. Claude, on the other hand, is that poor Lance, I mean. Claude, on the other hand, is just staring between the two of them, unimpressed. Maybe I should say something? Oh, God.
And now there's 3 choices.
Now there's 3. They are upping the ante. They went from 2 to 3. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But man, that hour just flew, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. That was great. So, as you saw on the... I can never tell because it's mirrored. Microphone side. There we go. So, as you can tell from this side, I have got a new computer. So, it was coming in on Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. So, May 4th, May 5th, around then. So, I'm really excited, honestly. So, this is going to be like the last few... Like, these next few streams on like Monday and maybe Wednesday are going to be the last ones that contain lag, and it's going to be glorious. So, I'm excited. So, Monday, we got Barony. Hopefully we get up to level 21, but obviously it might be like a two-parter kind of thing. Got Parasite Part 6 of Parasite Eve 2 coming up on Wednesday, followed by Dayland Pocket Play on Thursday, and then next week is Part 13 of Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore. I do have to change the code right up here, but we've got a couple going on right now for my Fiverr shop, waxgibbouswitch, and of course, support local businesses, and we're $10 going towards the business. So, here's all my social media in case you want to check out my stuff. TikTok is the one I update the most frequently, obviously, and if you want to check out my alerts, it's at DJMK for Life for Twitter in case you want to see the moment that I stream on here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you're all having a beautiful day. Happy May Day, happy Beltane, happy birthday if your birthday happens to be this month. And, of course, may your heart be your guiding key. Bye!
Bye.